Hi there, I'm Dr. Francesca Zampollo, and in this mini series, I am explaining to you the reasons why I think that all food designers should consider veganism or should consider designing for veganism. Again, I argue that veganism, together with minimalism, but we concentrate on veganism for now, is the fastest way to a more sustainable, peaceful, caring, and healthy lifestyle. In this third video, we look at the third reason why veganism is a lifestyle that should be considered by food designers, and that is that veganism is a better diet for your health. Eating more than 100 grams of unprocessed meat a day increases the risk of advanced prostate cancer by 19% and bowel cancer by 17%. It increases the risk of death from heart disease by 15% and breast cancer by 11%. There's no question today that there is a relationship between eating meat and cancer risk. And that's not just speculation because over 100 epidemiological studies show this. Research says that a reason for this could be that the practice of cooking meat at high temperatures results in the production of chemicals called heterocyclic amines probably, which are believed to increase the risk of cancer in humans. Processed meats does all of the above, plus it contains much more salt, nitrites, and chemical additives that occur when the meat undergoes treatment to extend its shelf life, such as curing, smoking, or salting. So processed meat is the worst type of meat that we can eat. There's also no question that eating the right kind of meat and the right amounts definitely fits to an overall healthy diet. And more than health, it's a solid part of a muscle building or muscle preserving diet. The high protein content, high B vitamin content, and high iron content is important. Indeed, both health and muscle building are severely compromised if any of these nutrients are missing. However, we also know that there are no nutrients in meat that can be found in vegetables and beans and a plant-based diet in general. Moreover, since we know the impact that the meat industry has on animals and the environment, I'm referring to part 1 and 2 of this video series, then we see that eating meat from farmed animals is a problem. So what I'm saying is that if you have access to a local farm that you know treats the animals fairly, and that maybe you even know that they use some sustainable farming principles and some circular economy principles, and if you don't mind actually paying someone else to kill for you sentient beings, of course this is your choice and you are entitled to this, then by all means add meat to your diet. But in any other circumstance, I think you should really try and at least minimize the amount of meat in your diet. A well-planned vegan diet provides us with all the nutrients that we need, minus all the saturated fat, cholesterols, and contaminants found in animal flesh, eggs, and dairy products. Scientists have found that vegetarians have a stronger immune system than their meat-eating friends. This means that they are less susceptible to an everyday illness such as the flu. Vegetarians and vegans live on average 6 to 10 years longer than meat eaters. It is also undeniable that unfortunately today many fruits and vegetables are drenched in pesticides, which of course then we are going to eat. And I actually cannot believe how a human being can actually poison their fruit and vegetables, knowing that they are going to be sold to people and eaten by people. So anyway, it goes down to you again. Eating fruits and vegetables is great. Some fruits and vegetables, because of the pesticides, are not that great. So the ideal would be eating fruit and vegetables that are locally grown, so they don't have to travel for long distance, and so they don't need a longer shelf life. and that you know where they come from and you know how the farmer has grown these fruit and vegetables. And if you can grow your own fruit and vegetables, if you are that lucky, then it's of course the best solution possible. So if you feel like you can go meatless, if you feel like you can at least reduce the amount of meat that you eat, if you feel like you can and you want help maintaining this beautiful planet of ours, then veganism is definitely the way to go. Thankfully, we are seeing some changes. In the last decade, for example, we have seen a 19% drop of meat consumption, and so every little bit helps really. Also, think about this. All the things that a nutritionist would tell you that are good for you are also good for the planet. So maybe it's time for us to start thinking about the close relationship that there is between a human body, a person, and the planet. And I think that as food designers, this is a wonderful point to think about. The last thing that I want to say is that veganism is great, but it's not all you can do. It's still not the best diet. To really decrease the environmental impact of your food choices, you should consume as little processed food as possible and eat as much fresh food as possible. In other words, you should try and avoid what comes in a packaging and what has gone through some type of processing. For two reasons. Processing means that energy and resources have gone into it, and secondly, processed food comes in a packaging, which has needed energy and resources to be made and which will be thrown away, which means that in the worst case scenario, it goes in the landfill, which we really don't want to happen, or it's going to need energy and resources to deal with it, to recycle it, for example. I don't think that most of us can avoid completely processed food, but I think that we can certainly reduce it. The last thing that I want to tell you is that if you think that you are helpless with regards to climate change or the actual life of the animals, and if you think that you can't make the difference, think again. Michael Pollan puts it very well. He said, in fact, that we have 3 possibilities of impact per day, because at least 3 times a day we choose what to eat. As a consumer, your power, your immediate power is in each one of these choices. And as a food designer, well, you can educate people on what choices they can make. This is the reason why I believe that veganism is not just great, but it's actually the fastest way to a sustainable, peaceful, graceful, healthy lifestyle. Because we can make these choices today. The next meal that you're gonna have, you can choose what you're gonna eat. If we all chose to reduce meat consumption to once a week, for example, just that, and if we all chose maybe to take that meat from a farm that is close by, and then we know what goes on, and we know the life of the animals, etc. Can you imagine the impact that we're gonna have on the demand for meat, for animal farming? It's all about demand and supply, and demand is in our hands as consumers and as food designers. This is why I think we have all the power in the world. We could tomorrow stop animal farming, help the planet, and live healthier lives. So what is it not to appreciate about veganism? And once again, when I say veganism, the extreme 100% vegan is a brilliant option, but if you don't want to go there, at least you can move towards a more and more vegan lifestyle. Again, thank you for watching this video. Please let me know in the comments below what you think about all of this, what you think about veganism, and what you think about veganism from a food design perspective and for food designers. I am very interested and open to a polite and constructive discussion. Again, I am not here to convince you, to force you to become a vegan, but I'm here to give you another way to look at the world for you to make your own decisions in the end. Thank you for watching this video. Have a lovely day and happy food design.